gentlemen, it's time to meet the players. Into the knockout stages in his Grand Slam debut year, a winner of a PDC title, Rocky Josh Rock! Ladies and gentlemen, from the Netherlands, the winner of 147 PDC titles worldwide, a three-time Grand Slam champion, and ladies and gentlemen, a three-time champion at the world.
Well, this should be good, shouldn't it? A first ever meeting between these two, with a bit of the past, present and future on the show here. Michael van Gerwen, a three-time Grand Slam champion, looking for a first title here, though, in 5 years, against Josh Rock, who on his debut has made it to the knockouts. Well, MVG has won 3 majors already this year in the form of the Premier League, the World Match Play and the World Grand Prix. He's been playing to a high standard this week as well, averaged around a ton for his first 2 group wins before upping it to 105 in a 5-4 defeat to Ross Smith. Smith was just sensational, wasn't he? Josh Rock, meanwhile, despite a real lack of big stage experience, kind of makes up for it in other areas, doesn't he? When trailing 3-1 against Luke Humphries and looking like he was headed out of the tournament, while he won the next 4 legs on the spin to make it here, and he's warmed to the big stage pretty nicely. Right, strap yourselves in for this. It's Van Gerwen versus Rock in the company of Wayne Mardle and Rod Studd.
Yes, thank you, Emma. I think here a match that carries more significance than just who wins a place in the quarterfinals of the 2022 Grand Slam of Darts. Shades here on November the 15th, 2012, when a then 23-year-old Michael van Gerwen took on Phil Taylor in the last 16 of the Slam and annihilated the power, 10 legs to 5, averaging 108. It's not quite the same here because by then Van Gerwen had already won the World Masters as a teenager and won the World Grand Prix the month before, and Rock isn't that far down the track in his career yet. But we saw then, Wayne, and we watched that match together, you might recall, something really significant in the history of darts that night. And although Phil Taylor won the World Championship a few weeks later, beating Van Gerwen in the final, we'd seen something there that meant that the world of darts was never quite the same ever again after November the 15th that year.
Yeah.
Do you feel similar about this match?
I do. I really do. We were just talking, weren't we, before we come on air about the significance of what this may turn out to be. We don't know. We don't know. When Michael van Gerwen first trod the boards in his BDO days, it was like, what on earth is going on? And the BDO was never the same. As a 17-year-old, he wins the World Masters. He was hitting 9 darters in the Masters of Darts against the Dutch master, Michael van Gerwen. And Josh Rock, we know he's getting a lot of press, he's getting a lot of airtime, but that's why he can do it, he can play. And he was chatting about the nerves in his belly as Van Gerwen wants the bullseye in the first leg. Hits a max, takes out 1, 2, 4. And the start from Van Gerwen, it's not like Josh Rock doesn't know what's going to happen in this match. Van Gerwen's going to throw good darts. Rock just has to be on the ball.
Josh Rock waiting on 24 there, by the way, as Van Gerwen hit the bullseye. The difference with that other match 10 years ago was, of course, Phil Taylor was nearer the end of his career than Van Gerwen is now. But we all know, and you know, Wayne, time, tungsten and tide waits for no man. In the end, time catches up with everybody.
The crowd didn't like Van Gerwen not being on the 9, but Rock is on the 9. Oh, this is a phenomenal start from both. We're in the second leg and there's been 5 maximums. But Josh Rock is on a 9-darter. He's already hit one on tour this year.
Now this would rock Van Gerwen, and it's on. It's on now for double 12. Sensational scenes in Wolverhampton as the new kid on the block shows everything he promised to show. A 9-dart leg in the second leg of the match to stun Michael Van Gerwen. Have you ever seen the like, Wayne Mardle?
If anyone was in any doubt about whether Josh Rock has got what it takes, his career is in the embryonic phase. This is the first time he has played who he said he's the best player in the world. And he's hit a 9-darter, and he's in again. This is shades of Van Gerwen against Wade. This is phenomenal. The last one that was hit was Dimitri van den Berg, and that was 4 years ago. Josh Rock has achieved this in the second leg rod of the biggest match of his life.
96.
Neither of us, Wayne, are often lost for words, but I think both of us here are struggling to find them. The English language is barely a powerful enough tool to describe what we've just witnessed from Josh Rock.
Astonishing.
85.
And even the way he comes back the next leg and starts 60-60, that means that he didn't get overawed by it. He's not fast-forwarding the mind. Both averaging 129. I know it's early days. I'm just pointing out a fact.
100, Michael, you've got 122.
Is it a 9 on tour against Dave Chisnell in March, and now is it a 9 on tour, a 9 on TV as Michael Van Gerwen misses a bullseye for another ton-plus finish.
Single leaves the double, the top of the shop. Rock on a roll early on in this match. Leads 2-1 against the big man.
I was really impressed, Rod, with the way that he was talking to Michael Bridge, with the confidence and the matter-of-fact way that he was talking. He's 21 years of age. He's, in darting terms, he's an absolute rookie. It come through on the development tour, and now look at him.
Well, that makes it 6 maximums in the match, 3 apiece. Yeah, he was in the hotel this morning. I was just milling around, eavesdropping on conversations, as is my wont, Wayne. And he was chatting to someone, I can't remember who it was, but he just said, yeah, it should be a good game, we'll see what happens. And I thought, is he talking about a game against Van Gerwen at the Grand Slam, or is he just going down the pub to throw a few arrows? It was incredible. It was as if it was just a normal thing to do of a Thursday night in Wolverhampton.
Up to press, this is the biggest match of his life, and like you said, he's talking like that.
And now it'll matter to him, but it almost doesn't matter if he gets beat here now. He's proved what we knew he could be, and he's done it a little bit. A 9-dart leg means he's here and he's arrived, and he's now an elite level darts player. End of conversation. And if he goes on to win the game as well, goodness me.
He's on a full flag, Michael Van Gerwen. Big flag, Josh to
Credit Van Gerwen, 2-2. Little 13-darter. Michael Van Gerwen averaging 123.46.
We think Josh Rock may have hurt his foot getting carried away, as he well might have done. I mean, you can't blame him for that, can you? But
this is why I didn't hit them.
Well, that's one of the reasons.
99.
No, it was the reason. Yeah, we'll find out more during the break about that, if Josh Rock has turned his ankle or something. He'll be disappointed if he doesn't go in the break leading, because he was 2-1 up. It's early days, Rodri, but wow.
What are we witnessing here? The new kid on the darting block, most definitely made of the right stuff, no question about that. You know, in the European Championship, when he played Nathan Aspinall and bookmakers made him favourite, I raised an eyebrow, I was sceptical, and they made him favourite again against Michael Smith in the next round. He won one and lost one. But there's no question now that this boy can play. And not only that, he's going to be a real threat in every tournament from now on, because he's going to be in every tournament from now on, isn't he?
Correct. 143 for Van Gerwen. 54 now for 32. He's on his game, Michael. But Rock, with this double 16, maybe this double 8. That is the lead at the first break, 3-2. So far, Rock has been granite. 3-2. Rock against MVG. Adrenaline, and the pain is somewhat quelled.
Yeah, it would be a great shame if that were to affect things up there. I mean, the legendary Phil Taylor would probably be sitting there saying, you don't throw darts with your feet. But there again, you don't stand on your hands to get the balance and the poise and the posture, do you?
You can't blame anyone for celebrating that kind of milestone in your career. And he really is having a little limp, isn't he? At least it's the left foot. If it was the right, that could be an absolute catastrophe.
Well, he could have been forgiven for crowd surfing to the back of the hall, couldn't he? I mean, it was absolutely sensational. I mean, 21 years of age, and you produce that in the second leg of a match against one of the greatest players ever to pick up a dart, almost defies description.
Yeah.
And it was all off the back of Van Gerwen going out on 1-2-4 in the first leg, by the way. And then, as you pointed out at the time, then Rock started the next leg with a maxi, didn't he? It was like dream darts, fantasy darts, the whole thing. Another.
86.
MVG is at it. He's doing nothing wrong.
99.
Josh Rock needs the form of the first mini session to continue, because Van Gerwen looks measured. He looks at home.
Look at this. Enjoy that.
You've watched sport and darts long enough, Rodri, to know that when a 60 goes in, when it's inevitable that another one and another one goes in, that's world class. And he has got that all about him, hasn't he?
It just looks $1 million.
57.
Everything about the game, the way he plays, just looks right, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
135.
There's no frailty. There's nothing about his game to suggest that he can't carry on playing to a similar standard to this for weeks on end.
Over the last few months, Wayne, you, like me, have opined that, you know, we shouldn't get carried away by Josh Rock.
Yeah, I was wrong.
It's now the time to get carried away.
You better believe it.
92.
Let's get carried away. Stuff it, come on.
Yeah, agreed.
Oh, lovely dart. Even better. Double 14 for a 145. Comes up dry. Double 16. And every time Van Gerwen's going for a big one, he's waiting Josh Rock quite often on a single darter. And he's hitting that single darter. He's in the lead again at 4-3.
As Michael would say, this is phenomenal. It really is. The barrage of scores from both players has to be said.
98.
Every time there's like a wayward dart or a missed treble, you just kind of know that it's going to be punished, but they're not going to carry on doing that.
He's in again. He's in again. He'll have to switch this time. But 177, that does the job just as well, doesn't it? Doesn't have to be a maxi. 177 will do nicely. And there's a chance here to go 5-3 up, Josh Rock.
99.
What you said at the opening gambit, Rodri, with it feels like a massive game, and Van Gerwen taking on Taylor a decade ago. This has got something similar to that written all over it. It just has. Will he stay there? The answer is yes. Will he hit double four? Nearly, Michael. Nearly busted.
67.
Yeah, he knows how close that was to the opening treble 20. MVG now is scratching around on double two. Gets it second dart. Levels up again. This is a terrific game of darts.
Poor first dart, then cover. Neither player is getting a heartbeat off it. It's just constant. The pressure is absolutely constant.
It is indeed, Wayne, and the score of a ton is paltry, isn't it?
It's not enough.
100.
A fifth maximum for Josh Rock. Not this time, as he switched across to leave 144.
Michael needs a treble to leave a finish, and of course he gets it.
Yes.
It's brilliant.
Now, we've seen a 9-darter, we've seen 7 maximums. Are we going to see the big fish? Quite possibly. Not now.
Both players oohing and ahhing when they're missing the treble for a big combo. Just can't see this missing, no. There's inevitability about what they're both doing right now. This is sheer class, 113.
They both know, Wayne, don't they, how well they're playing and how well the opponent is playing. That's where the oohing and ahhing is coming in, because they're surprised, like we are, when they miss.
They are both, and this is the other thing about Rock, by the way, the board management, game management, awareness of what's going on. They are both aware. Van Gerwen's one of the most savvy darts players that I think there's ever been, counting-wise, board management and the whole shebang. Rock is doing right. That's the 30th 57 that's been hit in this game, and the next treble 20 will be the 80th.
90.
We're in the 10th leg. I can go weeks and not do that. Well, I went a career and not do that.
136.
Now this, Rodri, is a situation where, for the first time, you feel that there could be a gap. Maybe not. I can't believe I thought Michael Van Gerwen might not take out 110. 124, 110, a 141, a 9-darter, 8 180s. It's 5 race to 10, which puts a bit of a dampener on it. Best of 31 would be pleasant, but that's the next round. This is only a last 16 match.
And in the midst of all this, it's quite difficult to focus on the here and now, and this is a darts match first to 10, and it's effectively now first to 5 between these two players from 5-all, and not allow the mind to wander down to the Alexandra Palace. I think, could this young man win the World Championship age 21? And how many could he win? What could he do? But I suppose you've got to keep your feet on the ground here, and he's got to do the same as I'm trying to do in the commentary box. It's a lot easier in here than up there. Oh my goodness. Good grief. 6 maximums.
There will come a point
57.
where either Josh or Michael think or both of them, just please go away. Just please give me a break. Neither are getting a moment off.
I'll tell you what, at the start of the match, I said shades of November 2012 when Van Gerwen played Taylor. Now at 5-all, shades of the following year when Taylor played Lewis in the semi-final. Another match I enjoyed your company watching, Wayne. I mean, that was ludicrous all the way through, a longer format. As Van Gerwen concedes that leg.
Just an 11. Just an 11.
123.
On the tour, Josh Rock has been doing extraordinary things, and he's had to wait for his tour win. He's been ripping up trees basically all season long without winning. Until you win, you don't know, you're unsure if you can win. And he did, he got it done. He beat Luke Humphries in a tour final just last month. So the belief's been there, of course, but the game's there.
Van Gerwen in this match has been chasing from the get-go, hasn't he? He's been behind repeatedly, due to Rock's advantage of throwing the odd-numbered legs, but Van Gerwen has been able to haul it back each and every time up to press, as he does, knocks off a ton with a minimum of fuss.
Josh Rock comes back from the break, wins a leg in 11. Van Gerwen wins the next leg in 11.
4 ton-plus outs in the match. The jewel in the crown, the 141 Josh Rock for the 9-darter. Van Gerwen, though, has had a hat-trick of ton-plus outshots in the match to counter.
The switching from both has been just sublime.
96.
Every time they are low on that 60, just expect 1 or 2 57s to go in.
99.
It's mesmeric, this.
There was a time, Rod, when those kind of numbers were not hit. And I'm not going back that long, maybe just kind of over a decade, but now it's what happens. Van Gerwen in his last match, he averaged 105 against Ross Smith and got beat. Now he's averaging 111 and he's not even in the lead. Oh, come on.
100.
Is this the kind of match that tempts you to come out of retirement, Wayne?
Oh, yeah, I'd love to compete against this, yeah. And technically as well, they replicate, the pair of them. You don't know when they've thrown a bad dart because it all looks the same. They just throw the same. And again, Josh Rock at the age of 21, he's got it. Van Gerwen missed the bullseye earlier for this 1-2-2. He's not going to get a poke at it this time to finish.
91, treble 17. Yes, 2 tops. Only 1 needed. Josh Rock in front again at 7-6. And again, the pressure heaped on MVG to come back and level once more. Look at this.
The finishing from Rock has been right up there with his scoring. He's only missed 2 darts at a double. And, Rod, to do that against Michael Van Gerwen, again, it's another sign that he's got it, because it's that composure under pressure in the biggest game of your life.
100.
Michael Van Gerwen averaging 112.97.
This is now darts, the like of which we've hardly ever seen before. And in terms of both players playing at this level, almost never have we seen it before. We mentioned Taylor against Lewis. They had that Grand Slam game and the final of a match play tops. And he's missed.
34.
Well, you'd think he'd be back, but you couldn't guarantee anything with this kid.
No, you cannot.
You can't.
No, you cannot. Okay.
Right, he wants a recount there. He can't believe he missed the second treble of the visit. But he hits the third, and that tees it up nicely. It gives him every chance if Van Gerwen bodges this.
Double 5.
He's on the 14 flag,
Incredible. 7-7.
15th leg, Josh, to throw.
Earlier in the piece, Rodri, you alluded to the Adrian Lewis Phil Taylor game, and you said this has got signs of that. Well,
100.
ironically, that's the highest losing average, Adrian Lewis, with 110. Michael Van Gerwen is currently averaging 111.
130.
What were the combined averages, Wade, of the two players in that game? You know, 110 Lewis. What did Taylor average?
I think Phil was 110 as well.
96.
So a combined of around about 220. This isn't going to be far off that, is it? If at all. The combined average here at the moment is something like 217.
He's making inroads here, Van Gerwen. He has not
58.
led since leg one. We're taking out 1, 2, 4. Oh, wow, what a time to throw probably the poorest scoring dart of the game for him. But it was a great 60.
He has a chance. In ordinary terms, in normal circumstances, 1-4-2 would be no more than a half chance. But the way they're playing here, it's a chance. It's a chance. He's a chance now on double 11. And Van Gerwen strikes. MVG strikes to lead for the first time since the end of the first leg of the match. He's 8-7 up. He needs 2 more.
What I find this fascinating, I really do. Michael Van Gerwen, throughout his whole career, has always tried to assert himself. He's always tried to be the dominant force. He's always tried to act like the aggressor, if you will. There's been none of that with Josh Rock. He is solely concentrating on what he's doing. He's not interested in one-upmanship and flexing his muscles and giving it the big one. He just wants to go on that stage, win and get off. There is none of this imposing himself. He's imposing himself with what he's doing.
Yeah, earlier in the match, Wayne, you used one of Michael's favourite words. You described the match as phenomenal. I'm going to use one of his favourite phrases there. He did the right thing there at the right moment.
Yes.
Didn't he? 1-4-2, right at the right moment, just when he needed it most, to get that break of throw, to give him the lead close to the finishing line. Now can he sprint for the finishing tape, or has Rock still got something up his sleeve?
Well, after 9, Michael wanted 60-60 double 12.
122. Josh Rock 130.
130 for Josh Rock. Needed the treble for the bullseye. Michael Van Gerwen is on 22. Double 11. He got this in the previous leg, not this leg. Double 4. That is when he gives it the big, and he knows the meaning of that. Michael Van Gerwen leads by 9 legs to 7.
100.
Well, have we witnessed the decisive blows in this match, in the 14th and 15th legs of the darts match? Van Gerwen with the incredible 1-4-2 out, and then the double 4 to go 2 clear, 2 up with 3 to play.
100.
Astonishing.
95.
Michael Van Gerwen's highest average in this event it's a ridiculous 115, but that was over a shorter format of the group phase. But Josh Rock, biggest game of his life, playing like this.
91.
And if you are just joining us, Josh Rock hit a 9-darter in the second leg.
Professional sportsmen and women, and let's face it, even at 21, you can consider him a leading pro now.
Yes.
Are never pleased when they get beat,
45.
but he surely will walk off stage thinking, that was absolutely brilliant, what a night. And it's a night he'll never forget.
Every now and again, you have to accept that you've been beaten by a phenomenal performance, that someone that's maybe been better than you, but he isn't beaten yet.
He's not.
He would have liked to have gone outside, let me tell you that. Van Gerwen is not going to punish a miss this time.
97.
That is only the 4th double that Josh Rock has missed in this match.
It's not followed by another, and he is still very much in the match. It's 9-8 to Van Gerwen, who has the darts in this leg, the 18th, but if he doesn't use them and take full advantage, Rock will have the throw in the decider. That's the knife edge we're still on here.
Josh Rock has only broken Michael Van Gerwen once. He's got to break him again if this match is to continue.
Wayne, was it not the 9-dart leg that broke the Van Gerwen throw?
That was my next sentence.
So that's how difficult it's been.
It's effectively been improbable.
Well, the best he can do here is a 4-visit win of a leg, so he'd need to break in 12 or fewer. The 9 has gone for this particular leg.
81. Michael Lew 149.
Van Gerwen now is 2 darts away from winning a sensational game of darts and bringing the curtain down on a Grand Slam of Darts classic in Wolverhampton.
59, Michael Lew 56.
For the match, double 10.
36.
Even one of the most successful players in the world ever gets a little edgy at finishing one of these off.
Could he take this out and send us all the way? He can't. So Van Gerwen breathes again, and he wants to close the door on his young opponent. Double 10, and the curtain comes down on one of the greatest games ever played at the Grand Slam of Darts. A game, I think, that will be hugely significant in the history of this sport, because we've witnessed today the emergence of a sensational new talent, the 21-year-old new talent, Josh Rock from Northern Ireland, who hit a 9-dart leg and rattled Michael Van Gerwen's cage for most of that magnificent match. But in the end, the former world champion, the 3 times winner of the Slam, had just too much and gets home 10-8.
Michael Van Gerwen may have won the game, but a lot of the chat is going to be